Heck, you've got one guy going boom, the other guy going whap, and the guy trying to run it in for the score, and he's going nowhere.
It's Madden NFL 23, and we've got Jeff Okuda, who's had quarterbacks numbers all season, coming down with 7 picks. It's the Commanders and the Vikings, and it comes your way next.
Well, this building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. Brandon Gaudin alongside my good friend Charles Davis. And CD, for as much as the defender in you probably hates to hear it, the NFL is a league ruled by offenses, and we've got a couple of good ones about ready to do battle here.
Well, you know me quite well. Maybe one day I can get to be commissioner. I can flip that around a little bit. We can just talk about defense. But let's face it, we're talking about 2 units that rank in the top 5 in the league. So I think this might be a game where you forget about the field goals. You'd better finish your drives with touchdowns if you want to keep up with the Joneses on the other sideline.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? From the 6. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early 2nd down and long. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins, incomplete, right side to Cook. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okuda, and he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. For CD, these 2 teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick 6 to take the lead.
Part of me, you have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I would say their plan worked to perfection.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they have things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight, and that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Man, corner is worth the salt yet, but ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Bringing him out, CD. It's a rookie from South Dakota State by way of Samford and South Florida. Well-traveled. Oladokin.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Oladokin on 1st and 10. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Taking it about the 1. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Cousins. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Osa Odighizuwa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's got room. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. It is a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Jelani Woods, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Commanders take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And a Jelani Woods touchdown catch capped things off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Week 9 here in the National Football League. We'll have 9 weeks to go after this. We got a couple of good matchups in prime time to wrap up the first half of the season. Tonight, Tennessee and KC in the AFC. And then tomorrow night, an interconference matchup. Baltimore and New Orleans from the Superdome. On second down, it's Cook again. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Oladoke into the air on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Washington. Equanimeous St. Brown, 67 yards. And the Commanders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing. Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. After the sack on 1st down, Cousins nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because when the defense got it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost. Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
pass is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where it was the Eagles who were able to swoop in and get the road victory. Jalen Hurts, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. From there, we head over to Atlanta to check out the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. Mike Williams, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that one all even in their matchup with the visiting Dolphins. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And the rushing numbers should tell the story of why they trail at the half. They're still in single digits in yardage as a team through 2 quarters of play. That's not good. Meanwhile, for Washington, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. Fielded right around the 8. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach. There he goes, left side. The 20. Touchdown, Washington. The partner, he has carried them in this ballgame throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air. And that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Now for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They start the drive with Cook, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play. On 2nd and 12, Cousins. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. T.J. Watt getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. 35 yards that time on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. We get a look at Equinemius St. Brown as he and the rest of the crew march out up. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. They want to give him a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
A really nice gain at 25 yards.
First and 10, here's Holodokin.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Holodokin's throw pulled in by Woods.
Touchdown! Jelani Woods with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders are pouring it on.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And a Jelani Woods touchdown catch capped things off.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Minnesota.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Throwing on second and long. Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
Harris running straight ahead. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Boy, missed tackles continuing to plague this defense, and they surrender another big play and a touchdown here.
Yeah, by my count, at least 2 guys had shots at it, maybe even more than that. But this defense, they've looked out of sorts all game long. That was definitely not one of their better efforts right there.
So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there.
And now it's second down. From the gun, here's Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score.
Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. Roughing the tackle.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
To try again after the sack. Cousins under pressure, and they got to him again.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going.
And now off to the races down the right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5.
And out now come the Vikings.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Now Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll start by running the option to the right. Gets past one man. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 30. 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
To try here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of have this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So a victory.